Can't even look at you with that hat on.
Well, I'd like to start with our recruits, but I think I'll start with our team since I haven't talked to you since our epic loss, and I say that because it was disappointing. But as I looked at film, believe it or not, it wasn't quite as disappointing. We did a decent job defensively, shot 36.5%. They shot 27% from the three, and that is after, I think it was 2 for 4 in the overtime. So before that, it was under 25. We had 11 turnovers and 17 offensive rebounds. You can't go 23 for 41 from the free throw line and 1 for 20 from the three. And for that, I give them some credit, and I just say we did not play, shoot it very well. Especially at the free throw line. In fact, at either place, it hasn't been the way it's been. So I got to do what I got to do, and I was disappointed in, as I always am. I felt like some guys didn't maybe do the things they needed to do, and so we're going to challenge some people in different ways. Not in the lineup, in the minutes, and we'll see what happens. And I'm not panicking over anything. I'm sure some people wanna, I'm not, but I am disappointed that a team that has already shown what they can do a year ago came out and I told you it was gonna be a tough game, but didn't have the focus to. I mean, the free throw shooting in itself was a joke. I mean, it was just, I don't have a better word for it than that. So it's over. Learn from it. A lot of meetings, a lot of film sessions. Got a lot done, but now we got a lot of work to do moving forward. And so after practice, after that game, it was nothing but Southern Indiana. Played St. Louis the same night we played, and a lot of new faces for them, as there is for everybody right now. It is going to be one of the hardest things to deal with in these games early, but we've got some film on at least that game, so we're one up on what we had in the last game. They made the CBI last year. They were a Division II power for a long time. They've got a team that is filled with new faces, but got a very good point guard who seems to get them into things, and the rest is a lot of unknowns. And that's about all I can tell you. If I was to tell you the truth, this isn't for bulletin board material. I'm not half as worried about what Southern Illinois does as I am worried about how we respond on, what way we played. So practice yesterday was more about walkthrough and film sessions. Tyson Walker has been a little hurt. We have to report those things now. What is it, 3 hours for game time? So I'm giving you the privilege of knowing it 27 hours before game time or whatever the hell it is. But he did walk through this morning a little bit, his back, and as you saw, he was cramping up. He's had a lot of problems with a little bit of a shin splints, and that's created some of that. So I don't know what he'll do today. I'm not sure what he'll do tomorrow. I'm expecting him to play, but I'm not pushing the envelope on anything right off the bat. So we've kind of looked at where we could do a better job ourselves. Offensively, still scored a decent amount of points, but the three-point shooting, we did not feel that AJ got us into things like he needs to. He wholeheartedly agreed, and that's what we're going to do. So if there's any questions on that first, and then I'll get into our recruits.
I want to ask about Malik. I know you brought him up in the preseason at points saying you want to see a little bit more out of him. Where is he at? Is he still getting back in after, missing time in the offseason? Is he where he wants to be physically or mentally?
Yeah, he's where he wants to be physically. I think he's where he wants to be mentally. I think it is going to take a little time to get him back. He was phenomenal against Tennessee. I won't won't say he wasn't as good, he wasn't as active, and we didn't do a very good job getting the ball. So, you know, I believe most divorces are not always 50-50, but they're not 100-0 either. So, as you can imagine, I took a look at a lot of things on my staff and myself and put some pressure on us, and we gotta do a better job of getting them the ball in certain places, and not just at the 3-point line like we did in the last game. So, there'll be some things that we'll make adjustments on. I think he's gotta make some adjustments to be maybe more aggressive in a lot of areas, but no, I think physically he's definitely in good shape. I don't think you ever get back everything in the first couple games when you take 5 months off. But at the same time, I'm not worried about Malik mentally. I'm not worried about Malik physically. I just think he needs some time and needs to be a little more aggressive and assertive. And we got to do a little better job of getting him the ball in certain places. So 50-50 on that.
Tom, you got guard rebounds from Akins, but out-rebounded by 3. And do you have a number in mind in terms of assisted baskets? You've had so many over the years.
Yeah, I think he brought it up in the press conference. It's the first thing I brought up to my team. That I got a media guy telling me something that I wholeheartedly agreed with. It doesn't happen very often. But, you know, and that's what I'm blaming us a little bit, but I just didn't think that we did the things we needed to. I think we got north and up, you know, everything was east and west. And, you know, when guys don't make shots, it's hard to get assists. But there were some good shots, but there were some times that we didn't get into things quick enough or fast enough or well enough. And that was addressed too. So is there a number? Yeah, I'd like to be 20 plus, you know, but I think it was 13 or 12 or something. That had to be one of the all-time lows, as 1 for 20 was, as, you know, 23 for 37, but when you miss 4 front-ends of the 1-on-1, in my book, it's 23 for 41. And you know what, guys, you're not gonna beat anybody if you do that. I don't care who we play. We're not gonna beat anybody if we do that on a consistent basis. And that has not shown that's one thing I will back the players, the coaches. We put a big emphasis on it all summer. We shot very, very well this whole fall, and we shot very well in the night before when we do our thing. And it happened. I mean, Tyson Walker really went 11 for 20. I mean, think about that, and I think everybody here would agree. You know, all he had to make is one more free throw and you win it. And that's the way I tried to look at it after the fact. But, you know, that team could win or lose tonight. They play here tomorrow at Kent State. That is a good basketball team. You know, it was not an easy game to start out the year with. And so we got, you know, break a lot of records. There's some records that you break the other way, and that was one of them, you know. And we got beat at home, and we got beat by a pretty good team, but we got beat. I didn't like all the effort. I said that after, and then I watched the film, and I still think there was things we didn't do. But you can't shoot like that with the shots we did have, because there were enough good shots to make 4 or 5 threes. And if you do that and make 5 or 6 more free throws, you know, it's a 10-point win instead of a loss.
At the 5, we went back and watched what Monty and Cooper and both did, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, we did not do a good job. They were okay. We did not do a good job. We did not get them the ball. We did not put them in a position to be successful. So that falls on me. That falls on our staff. That we got to do a better job of that. They're limited in some things they can do. I was a little disappointed that I didn't think we guarded down there as well, and the rebounding, you know, so when you miss that many free throws, whether this is an excuse or a reality, and I really don't care, it takes away a lot of your game. You know, I mean, I think we were 2 for 10 in the first 12 free throws, and so all of a sudden everything kind of goes to hell, and I think that happened a little bit. And and yet I think we got to do a better job getting them the ball. They were open in there at times, and so I'm taking the blame on some of those guys.
Is there a positive in the aggression and getting, I think it took 32 fouls, I mean, there's.
Yeah, I think it was big, and I think there should have been more when I watched the tape. It just shows that we weren't very good, and sometimes other people weren't very good. Watch what I say, I'm saving my money. If you lose your opener, you might get fired here, so I gotta make sure I be careful what I say, but there was a real positive in the aggression of that. I thought we took it to the basket pretty good. I thought we did some things in that respect that was above what I thought we did, all those free throws.
Tom, you talked about leadership after the game and kind of challenging some guys.
Yeah, I don't like our leadership right now. That's gotta get better. And I talked to a couple of the seniors about it, and so I think they have done a better job in leading over the summer. That's the ironic part. They've done an unbelievable job with our freshmen, but then didn't do that the other night. And that's some of that's going to fall on AJ. It really is, and he knows it. We spent a couple nights talking about it, and he's done a better job in the summer. He's got to do now a better job in the fall.
He talked about that a little bit. I guess where is that? It's kind of been a back and forth relationship.
I don't know. What did he say?
Just that it falls on him and he's got to be better.
Must be a love relationship then, so don't try to pit me against him. It must be a good relationship because him and I are agreeing. He's got to do a better job, he says. I say he's got to do a better job. It sounds like a good deal to me.
Now, if you don't go 1 for 20 and you hit free throws, which you say you've been very good at, we're talking about recruiting now, we're not even talking about it.
Yeah, it's hey, listen, I was more disappointed than you guys were. I don't know. I don't read what you write, and I respect you. But they shoot 37%, they shoot 27 from the three, Getting out rebounded was a little bit of a problem, but we got 17 offensive rebounds. That was a big issue for us. Yeah, if we make one three, or if we make a couple of free throws, and who knows what would happen if you would have done that early. To go 2 for 10, boy, that was what Tyson was beside himself. It showed. Want a positive? Tyson Walker missed all those free throws, and still he didn't make a three, and he had 35 points, and he did it within the framework of everything. That's a huge positive, if you ask me.
And AJ said you had a good week of practice. His theory was you're not bringing it to the beginning of the games because you had a tough start against Tennessee too. I don't know if 2 games is a test pattern, but is there anything you can analyze about that? Do you agree with him?
What did he say the reason
He said
was?
you had a really good week of practice, but for some reason we're not bringing it to the beginning of games.
Oh yeah, I agree with him 100%. And again, it's not pick on AJ. So, I'm pretty honest about my situation, relationship. I'm always honest with you. That's the problem. But I posted up Malik and AJ especially, a little bit Jaden. I mean, that's their job. They're the starters. They're the vets. I mean, I can take blame for some things. No, that's in their hands. They're the ones that have had the experience. I get to coach the game. They get to play the game. There's a lot of times I'd rather play the game than coach the game. So they should take a little. They should question that a little bit and wonder. But it's, the reasons for it. Against Tennessee, we turned the ball over a lot. We did not turn the ball over a lot here. I think we had 6 the first half and 5 the second, which isn't perfect, but it isn't bad, and that didn't cause the problems. We got to the free throw line real early, and we didn't make any free throws, and I think that became a little depressing. And so, you miss some free throws, and the lead starts growing a little bit. Stuff happens, but I don't think they came out cocky. I don't think they came out, I get a million letters, and your team was looking past your team, no, they weren't looking past. I knew how good that team was. I told you guys, and I told you they were damn good, and they play hard, and they did, and they played very well, and they They deserve to win in that respect. But I'm also going to say I'll bet my life, wife, kids, anybody else that I can bet, my 97-year-old mother, that we won't go 1 for 20 and 23 for 41 from the free throw line again. Could happen, but I bet my life it doesn't.
When shots are falling and it can be demoralizing, whose responsibility is it? Is it partially on you and the players to kind of keep morale high?
It's always on me. I mean that too, and it should be on me. That's where I was a little disappointed in us because, you know, Malik's a guy I can use in a lot of different areas, and posting him up and you know, one thing he did in that last game, he got to the free throw line 10 times, made 8 of them, and that's how you stop runs. You don't stop runs just hitting threes, and I didn't think we did a very good job of that on the staff, so that I take big responsibility for.
And then when it came to 3-point shooting, did you like the looks you guys got in general, like the shot selection, or do you think some of them?
Well, some of them weren't great, but I liked more than a couple of them, more than a lot of them. AJ had some good looks. Malik had some good looks. Tyson had some good looks. Jaden had to take one bad one because of the shot clock. So did Jeremy. But I bet you 2/3 of the looks I thought were pretty or very good. I don't know. What did you think? So I'm on the same page with AJ, same page with the media. This is a hell of a day so far.
Would you rather be on the same page with us or AJ?
I'm not in a laughing mood, but that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I think AJ, and I am. I mean, let me tell you something real quick on that. You always are going to put a lot of pressure on your point guard, and he gives me reason to, but he also has given me reason to feel pretty good about some things he's done. I think the biggest thing I'm looking for him is, can he consistently do the things you need to do? And that's defend the hell out of people, push the ball, not worry about his 3-point shot, get other people involved in the game. That is his job. And he's gonna have to do that job better than we did it the other night. And that's not controversy, that's fact. As he always says to me, those are facts. But this summer, this fall, I think we've had a great relationship. So since you always do, ask him, see what he says. If he doesn't say that, I'll be shocked.
It's not right here. If Tyson is limited, or say for precautionary, you kept him out, whatever, it seems like you have a lot of other options that could take up his minutes. What would you sort of be curious to see, or what are some of those different paths you guys?
Well,
could take to?
Trey Allman is one option there. I mean, we could go Jeremy Fears and do something there. We could go Colin Carr. Since I played him kind of all over too, but talk about bright spots. I mean, Colin played extremely well in a lot of ways, and he hasn't been a very good free throw shooter. He's been one of the weaker links in that area, and he did a hell of a job making his free throws. Just now knowing everything he's got to do, because he's almost playing 2 positions sometimes, because some of these teams went so small, we went smaller, and but hopefully I don't have to use those options, but if I do, I got options to use, and I'll keep that secret. So I have to tell who's injured 3 hours before. Is that the rule now?
Yep.
So those gamblers can make money?
Exactly.
I don't have to tell them who I'm playing, do I?
No. We'll do one more before we go into the recruits.
I'm wondering, you mentioned about not panicking. How difficult is it when you set the bar so high to really kind of tell the fan base that this is really only 1/30th of what we're going to see?
Not at all difficult. I love our fan base. In fact, our fans the other night, it was phenomenal. It was an 8:30 game. It wasn't a Big Ten game. They were absolutely phenomenal. But, the Tennessee was missing, especially the one guard. I mean, he went 1 for 6 last night. The guards that played against us, made a lot of shots, you know, and I look back on that game and I told you that was gonna be a hell of a game, and it was a hell of a game. I mean, I didn't like the start, but, you know, you guys are getting like me, you know, you're supposed to think that the glass is half full. So we started out 17-1, but then in 36 minutes, we scored 87 points. So there's a positive to that. We bounced back. My thing has always been about the big picture, not the small picture. I'm not worried about what people are thinking. I'm disappointed that we didn't win the game, and I'm disappointed the way we shot, and I'm a little disappointed because I didn't think we showed the passion that is needed to compete. So I was disappointed, addressed my team with that, and then I addressed my staff what I thought I had addressed them. I will never, you know, I used to do it and it was really a good thing. When I first started and I had problems, and I listened to my staff and everybody, you know, blame the players, blame this. I went out and bought 6 Barbie and Ken mirrors. You know what those are? Anybody knows? A long time ago, you know, they're little mirrors, they're little flowers around them. You hold them like this. And I kept them in a drawer and I'd put them up in the middle and I'd say, okay, everybody grab a mirror. Look in the mirror. Did I do everything I could do to make it right? If I did, put the mirror down. If I didn't, get ready. And so we'll address us first, them second. I did the same thing today and yesterday with my own staff. I said, you know, are we doing everything we can do? And I think there's some things we didn't do a good job of, but all in all, I'm not worried about what our fan base, because I'd probably tell you 95% of our fan base, as you used to always remind me, Jack, is probably disappointed in the loss and 100% behind us. There's some freaking idiots out there that want to say on, you know, behind closed doors on their little computers. It's called Twitter, my favorite subject. And those people can do and say what they want, you know. But I would invite them, if they want to call me and talk to me about it, I'd invite that anytime they want to. So I'm cool with that. All right? All right. Talk about some positive news of the day. You know, it's signing day is always great, especially when you think you had a good class and